first ever Draft League video and just Draft League period. I'm currently in 2 Draft Leagues. I just finished my VGC draft. That will be in the next video. And right now, we're going over my singles draft. It's a part of the Grande Draft League. It will be on Pokemon Showdown. And the rule set for this is what we consider Gen 8 National Dex Legacy. So basically what that means is there are Megas, as you can see here. It also means that there's a Z move. You can have 3 Z move users, and it cannot be an S tier Pokemon. And basically it's got a lot of the really powerful Pokemon are banned. So I'll go through and just show you real quick the tiers. This was put on by unknown user, aka the Grande Groudons. So as you can see, here's like Mega Tier 1. They cost 20 points. And you got like your Mega Tier 2, which is the one I was most interested in. I just wanted a really high base stats mon, and I really liked that Tyranitar had. I know he's got the huge weakness to fighting, which can be an issue, but I actually I love ghost types, so I don't mind having that fighting weakness because then I get a good ghost type to pair up with it. So that way, as long as they don't have Scrappy or something like that, they won't be able to hit me. But we can always plan around that. Anyways, but so I wanted to go with I know I wanted Sand just because it's a threat. Somebody did take Excadrill in the first round though, so sadly I was not able to get Excadrill. That would have been my next pick for my S tier pick. But somebody did pick him, and then as you can see, like Mega Tier 3, you get minus 20 points, so which means you get given 20 points. In Mega Tier 4, you get given 40 points. So basically, there's 2 strats with the Megas, right? It's pick one early and build around it, or pick one late is just like what to feel. And I wanted to build around one, or at least have one as my base, because like I said, I didn't want to be stuck with the Mega I didn't want. So all right, then next, I immediately knew that with Mega T-Tar, like I said, clearly he's weak to Bug, Fairy, Grass, Ground, Steel, Water, and then 4 times weakness to Fighting, which is a big one. I immediately knew that I wanted another Mon that could hit hard, because first of all, he's got a base stat of 164, and then even his special attack isn't bad. Like against a team that has really bad special defense, you can put in the work. I'm gonna mainly probably be using him as a Stealth Rocker slash Assault Vest tank. He's gonna just take some hits for me. Obviously, I just have to be careful on my switch ends. Oh, there's no hidden power. We voted on no hidden power, but there's still like Pursuit and moves of that nature. But there's no hidden power, so that's the only reason why I went for it 4 times for my first Mon. So the next, I've never really used Egg Slash, whatever. But I thought that it was perfect because one, it's got that awesome Ghost type, and not only does that Ghost type help, it also gets it basically takes away the Steel weakness. You can run this Pokemon with Air Balloon, and then its only weaknesses, I believe, are Dark and Fire. Let's see, Fire, and Dark. Yeah, so I could run Air Balloon on it, and it would only have 2 weaknesses. So it's always a good, like when you have like 2 weaknesses, 2 or 3 weaknesses on one Mon in Draft League, that's really good. And he's got good resistances too. I mean, just Steel type in general. But the big thing is I picked him with the thought process of maybe getting someone like Lando next, right? Because I wanted to be able to take advantage of the Sand Force. Now, Sheer Force is typically better, right? Because it's more well-rounded. But say there's a time where I really need to be faster, because 1-on-1's base speed is not bad. I can run Sand Force, and then I can run Choice Scarf. And then that way I can make sure that I outspeed certain Mons. Because clearly, he's really weak to Ice. Ice is a typing that's not hard to break. Like I said, Steel is obviously good against Ice. They're not usually good defensive Mons, so like I said, as long as I'm faster, I can. And I immediately knew that at this point, I didn't have the fastest Mons by any means, like 71, 60, and 1-on-1. So I knew that also I wanted to get a Pokemon that was resistant to fighting as well, right? Because I definitely felt like at this point, fighting was like one of the big things for me. And I also wanted had pretty much mixed attackers so far, right? With Pokemon a little bit better at attacking. So then I ended up going with Hatterene for my 4th pick, which is perfect because it gives me magic bounce. Also, it can be a heal bell, so that's aromatherapy. Aromatherapy, obviously. And it's just, overall, it's a really good mon, and it gives me that first trick room slash, just kind of sweeper, late game sweeper. And I love a good trick room mon because that basically then added the ability for me to be able to set up trick room with egg slash, and then even if I want to run a slow T-Tar, obviously. But basically, trick room's good because I can bring her in. I can make them guess if I'm going to go trick room, if I'm going to go calm mind, or if I'm just going to hit them hard. And then magic bounce just doubles up. It has potential as a lead if I really need it to. I prefer it more as like a mid game thing, like we're kind of like, well, you'll see as I get through my battles over the next few weeks how I like to use her. But I'm very happy to get Hatterene with the 4th pick. That was very good. My 5th pick. Now there wasn't a lot of people had taken the tanks by this point, right? And there wasn't a whole lot of like really good defensive mons that I didn't already have like typings of, or didn't really have like great weaknesses. Now obviously, only thing that sucked about me having to take him was that if somebody runs a special ice Pokemon, I'm pretty vulnerable, right? But the good thing about a special ice or whatever is I feel like Egg Slash is perfect for that. Like he can, and basically if my enemy ever has a really good ice type, which is really not that many great ice. So Kyurem will be kind of hard for me, but that's what the fairy's for, right? And then, like I said, so these two are really my answers for those things. And like I said, if I have to, I'll bring her fully special defensive. Like I said, calm mindset, and then that'll be perfect. But Tangrowth, Regenerator, his defense, his HP, it was too good for me not to pass up where it was. I really needed a good tank and needed a solid grass type too. The grass types were starting to dwindle. I didn't want to reach all the way down at Shaman. It's not bad, but I just thought he was so much better. And yeah, just that regenerator ability just helps a lot. And he can also, at 50 base speed, he can operate in Trick Room as well. So that gives me another good mon to kind of put in there. And you can throw 4 attacks in Assault Vest and then go max Spadef pretty much on him, or at least EV it to where you can last 2 hits. So I'm pretty happy with him right now. We'll see what happens as the season goes along. If I want to keep Tangrowth on, if ice types are really like tearing me up, I might have to switch to a different defensive Pokemon that's not so weak to it, but we will see. Alright, so at that point, I had basically my 3 hard hitters, right? My Trick Room Specialist to help with speed, and whatever. I had my nice tank to take up some hits. And so next, I really wanted a good special defense Pokemon, and I also wanted a Pokemon that could potentially set up Toxic Spikes, because one of my win cons is with Tangrowth can last and take a lot of hits, so I could throw on Leech Seed, Protect, whatever, and then I can also have King Shield and leftovers for him, and even she can take a while to knock her down, right? So I really wanted a Toxic Spike user, and Tentacruel just seemed like a perfect fit. To this point, I didn't have a poison type, I didn't have a water type, and he literally just does everything I want. Clear Body is perfect for a lead. Liquid Ooze is a cool ability. It doesn't have a lot of use, but if I ever go up against a really good grass type that potentially uses Giga Drain or something like that, Liquid Ooze will be pretty cool to like be able to use. Like, it's one of those abilities where like if you can bring it in on the right time, it can be very good. And Rain Dish, I don't have a rain team, but say I'm facing up a rain team, I could very much have Tentacruel in there to do that. But anyways, my biggest thing, I was looking at Drapion, and I was also looking at Tentacruel. And like I said, Tentacruel is more of a defensive mon. Obviously, his attack and special attack isn't nearly as good as Drapion, but what really set him apart was he's at base 100 speed, whereas Drapion, I think, is 95. He's either 90 or 95, so he's just a little bit faster too. So yeah, so I was excited with the Tentacruel pick, and he's got some potential. I mean, 80 special attack isn't bad, and then water and poison are pretty good offensive typings now, especially because Fairy is so strong. and I'm definitely happy with Tentacruel pick. So that gave me my 6 Mons, and I thought it was doing pretty well so far. Like I said, it's my first ever draft. I've been watching it for a while. At this point, I had a Pokemon in less than 30 speed tier. Second, I had a Pokemon in 31 to 50 10 growth. I had just Excelgor in the 60. Then I had T-Tar. Then I had these two here. So I had every speed tier except for the really fast tier. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a Fastmon because to me Fastmons are cool and everything, but with my Toxic Spike potential and my my lasting potential, right? I was gonna outlast Pokemon, other Mons in my Trick Room. I knew I just wanted a Pokemon that they're gonna have to game plan for. All I have to do is bring a Selgor once or twice. All right, so say the opposing team is really weak to Toxic Spikes, but they're good against Tentacruel, like it's a bad matchup. I can bring Excelgor and do Focus Sash on Burden, and basically I can threaten out like how I would see him is either Excelgor, you're going to set up 2 layers of spikes, 2 layers of Toxic Spikes, and then die, or you can run Focus Sash like I was saying. Well, you were on Focus Sash with that set too, but you can run Focus Sash, and then when you have Focus Sash, you can also run. I think he gets Nasty Plot. I don't know if he gets Nasty Plot or not, but just a boosting move. They knock off your item, your Focus Sash. I believe that it activates Unburden because you lose item. I get a +2 speed, and then I could even go Throat Spray. I think I could go Throat Spray, but anyways, I boost it, and in one turn I have the fastest Mon in the format, and then with a plus whatever, and they just have to switch in. They have to have a priority Pokemon to come in. So I definitely thought about having like Psychic Surge or something like that, and I think she does get Psychic Surge, and I could definitely set up with her Psychic Surge, and they can think I'm doing Trick Room, and then set up screens, and then bring him in. And I could do rank. I don't know, but you know what I mean. And that way, there's no priority. Bring him in, and then there's just absolutely nothing they can do. And that would be really scary. And that's definitely a route I would like to go. But for the most part, I will use him as a setter, and then as a what's the word? U-turn, just U-turn spam. Next, I wanted a healer. I also wanted another fairy. Because fairy, in my opinion, fairy and water are the 2 best types overall. They're the 2 strongest. They got least amount of weaknesses compared to the other ones, and they're just really good, like overall defensively and offensively, right? And so I want another fairy, and this Slurpuff was pretty much perfect. I was praying that nobody would pick her, and basically I was able to get it perfectly. It had sticky webs, which was the big thing, right? Sticky webs that can give me a lead. I was looking between this one and Araquanid, but I really didn't want to get another water type because I felt that there was good water types on the field that I wanted to try and get, and there wasn't any more fairies like that I really liked that were available. So Araquanid was a maybe, but I just felt like Slurpuff felt more I mean, you can just look down here on the important moves. It's got Sticky Webs, Heal Bell, and Wish. So it gave me a Wish supporter, which was a big thing. First, but like Tangrowth. Can you imagine like trying to beat down Tangrowth all game? And then I Heal Bell it with this, and then Wish it with that. I mean, it would just be ridiculous. And so Slurpuff, and once again, gives me an Unburden as well. So that terrain, like I said, it may end up doing free agents and trying to get some type of terrain Pokemon, because it does give me 2 Unburden Mons that are relatively fast. 72 isn't terrible, but with Sticky Web makes it even better. And Slurpuff, another thing for it is I only have to bring it 2 or 3 times, and they're always going to have that potential of Sticky Webs, and so they have to always plan for that. Next, to this point, I did not have a Fire type, I did not have an Electric type, and I did not have a normal type or a fighting type. So another Pokemon that I wish his speed was a little less, but under Trick Room, this Pokemon can put in work. With the Reckless ability, he powers up moves with recoil, and literally he has Flare Blitz. So you can imagine how much a Flare Blitz is doing. Max attack, And if you really want to get funky, you can pretty much OHKO anything, right? If you throw in like a life or a choice band. And so if I can ever bring Imbor and have a choice band on it, choice band Flare Blitz Reckless would just be amazing. And what I would want to do is, right, I'd want to have Tangrowth, probably set up a Leech Seed on a Pokemon I like, and then bring him in if I'm faster than it. And then if I'm not faster than it, Trick Room, and then him. That'll be the easiest way to get set up. Now, the only reason why he's so low, he was only 60 points, is because he does require setup, and he is somewhat of a glass cannon. But I thought that the value here, I would have loved to have Infernape. But Firefighting is such a good offensive typing, and I just loved thinking that my Trick Room could consist of Egg Slash, Hatterene, Tangrowth, and Imbor. I just thought that was just such a powerful 4, because all 4 of those could potentially sweep. Yeah. And then I don't know how this Pokemon got to, was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I had 180 points left, and I was looking at 100-point Mons, so I get 180. And I knew in the back of my mind, right, that I hadn't really taken advantage of the sand too much. I wanted to get a rock type, but there wasn't, like, I wanted to maybe get Lycanroc, and then I was like, I didn't like its stats, and then I was looking at Statland stats, and I thought for 40 points, right, I mean, look at, it's base stats are 500, which is good, and literally everything, it doesn't use special attack, so this is irrelevant, but 110 attack, 90 defense, 90 special defense, 80 speed, and 85 HP. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And not only that, it gives me an Intimidator that I didn't have before, Scrappy, which can obviously hit whatever, and then Sand Rush. So I actually think that Stoutland can get some good viability. If my opposing person doesn't have good fighting types, you will almost for sure see T-Tar and Stoutland come out. And it'll probably be a max speed, and maybe in some cases even Choice Scarf. Just to make sure I have that speed. That'll be like for a really slow team with not good fighting types. But I can definitely see Stoutland having potential to get some kills, and it's got access. It's got a pretty good move pool, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, this was probably my favorite pick of the entire draft, because to this point, let's see, ground weakness, ground weakness, ground weakness, and ground weakness. So that's 4. Yeah, 4. And I knew I didn't want to get another Flyer because I didn't want another Ice type weakness. And I knew that I think Skarmory was already picked, I believe. Let me see if Skarmory was picked. Let's see. 1B. I forget where Corviknight. Yeah, so there's Corviknight. So Corviknight was not picked yet, I don't think. So Skarmory was not picked for 160, but it was 160, right? I couldn't have picked it. So I needed a Pokemon that was good, that had either could fly or whatever. Togekiss isn't a bad pick, but I already had two fairies. I didn't want another ice weakness though, so I thought that Rotom Wash was absolutely perfect. And honestly, for a 10th pick, I could pretty much bring this Pokemon every week. First of all, Electric Water is arguably one of the best typings anyways, dual typings anyways, and then you give it Levitate. Like, everyone knows how good the Rotoms are, right? And not to mention, it gives it Defog. So, the reason why you get Tentacruel, one reason, is because it's a grounded poison type. Not ground poison type, but grounded poison type. That way, if your opponent has Toxic spikes out, you can throw out your grounded poison Pokemon, and it absorbs those spikes to where they won't infect anyone on your team. So that's one reason he's good. And then 2, Levitate. So he wouldn't absorb it, but I can throw Defog on Rotom Wash, send it out, and then it can defog whatever is up, whether it's rocks, whether it's whatever. And not to mention, it's got a pretty good move pool. Its offensive is pretty much limited. You're pretty much only going to see Volt Switch / Hydro Pump. But like I said, Volt Switch is one of the best moves in the game. And then say they want to bring in a ground type on you to absorb that Volt Switch, then you just hit them with a Hydro Pump. or you can throw a Will-O-Wisp on him, or you can do a plethora of things, right? And then he's got nasty plot potential, 86 base speed. So once again, with the sticky webs, the 86 base speed becomes pretty good. And so Rotom Wash definitely really brought the team together, I thought. And like I said, the only thing that sucks is I do have a lot of Mons right here, but all these Mons tremendously benefit from sticky webs. So like I said, definitely, like I said, I would maybe like to get some type of Psychic Surge, probably, if I see a weakness. And then also, like I said, that would give Selgor and some of my Pokemon that kind of get hit pretty good, like, because I know Ice Shard will do pretty good damage to Landorus. So if I can get Psychic Surge, I feel like that might put me over the top. But like I said, I can even run on a Hatterene, but it's so much better whenever they come out and they throw it out. But Pokemon that I feel like can be replaced on my team, I think that all three of these are just staples for my offensive potential, because just having to game plan for these three every week is going to be very difficult, because you never know which one's going to be packing like the heat. I got plenty of Reflect and Reflect and Light Screen support. Hatterene was a staple on the team. She won't be going anywhere. I love Magic Bounce as a move, as an ability. Tangrowth, I could see him potentially, but he's so strong too. Like, Regenerator is just such a good ability. But I could see myself getting rid of Tangrowth and possibly, really that's it. I feel like everybody else has a really good niche for the team. But like I said, his potential as a tank that can just switch in and in singles, he's so much better. Like doubles, you can't really do anything about it. Like, right, that special defense stat. So that is the only thing that's alarming, special defense stat. But I feel like I can make up with T-Tar with the 120, and then she's got 103 and a good typing, and then even Rotom 107. So like I said, I'm not lacking in the special defense department at all. But that's the one thing I have a question mark with my team, and but I feel really good about it. Please let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be I just finished my draft today for the VGC doubles league that I'm doing. It's also a draft format, but that one is it's still in Showdown, but it is actually Sword and Shield rules. So basically, it's just like anything that had 20 people in it, but 2 divisions. So it was 10 picks each. Or 10 people in each division, and I was picked 7, so I had to pick kind of late, and I didn't like that. Like I said, this draft I was picked 4, and that draft I was picked 7, so really I was like kind of in the same place on both, right? So it gives you basically a pretty decent 1-mon, and then you have kind of close back to back, but early on it was really hard for me to game plan, and I'll go over like how that draft went and everything. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please let me know if you have seen any good sets that you think I can run besides the ones that I mentioned. Let me know who you like on my team, who you think is the weak point of my team, and if you see any ways I can make it better, please let me know. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.